Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whatever time you happen to be watching this video. Why church folk be like, man of God, woman? Why so many extra syllables added? I wonder who was the first person started talking like that. Like, did they actually talk like that for real, or did like something like happen, or they was trying to like imitate somebody and was joking and stuff like that? I don't know, not sure, but I find it funny though. But that's neither here nor there. How y'all doing today? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Well, you know anything about me, my wife always say all I do is preach. That's all you be, just preaching. That's all you do is preach. Look what you're preaching, Sal. Nah, she be sick of me. She like, man, why you just don't be normal? Like, and I'm like, what is normal? Why don't you just be normal? Stop. Every time you talk to people, it's either about business, financial literacy, or the Lord. The Lord. Like, why are you, that's it. Like, 3-track mind. What else is it? Have fun. Go live life. And I'm like, yeah, I done lived life. I done had fun. I done stuff. I done did all the dumb things that I've done, that I've needed to do in this life that required ignorance and foolery. And now it's time to be wise about some situations. You know what I mean? So that's why it's kind of like I'm a stickler about the things that I am about. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't wanna create fools no more. I wanna create wise people. I wanna create wise people now. If I'm talking to you, I'm trying to empower you. I'm trying to enrich you in some sort of way. I ain't trying to just blow money on stupid stuff. I ain't trying to help watch you blow money on stupid stuff. I'm trying to help because I understand today, your choices today have a lot to do with your future, your lifestyle tomorrow. So it's like, man, if I know that, like, if you can be honest with yourself, especially if you've been in some bad situations in your life, financially and stuff like that, you can say like, dang, man, if I wouldn't have did that, if I hadn't have been stupid in this area, if I hadn't have been ignorant in this area, if I would have just did this, man, how much more different would my life have been, would be? You know what I mean? Like, you can't change the past, but you sure can learn from it. But unfortunately, some of us don't learn from it. We just accept the fact that life be life, and the economy, inflation, the president, whoever is the problem. But in reality, it's our choices. Regardless where you from, where you at, what you do, your income level, your education, regardless, that's literally it's like your choices. You can't make this up. It is what it is, your choices. If you can't be honest with yourself, say, man, had I not made these choices and are continuing to make said choices, man, life would be better. And that goes to relationships, man. That's, man, all the way around, like real talk. Like it's tough. You know what I'm saying? So I just started to talk to y'all today about the choices that we tend to make every now and again. It is what it is. So if I don't do anything else, I'm gonna help with some choices. I'm gonna be a constant reminder that, hey, maybe you shouldn't, do that. Maybe you shouldn't drink that. Maybe you shouldn't smoke that. At least not every day, not every weekend. Maybe you shouldn't go to the club every weekend. Maybe you shouldn't go to the steakhouse every week. I get that's your tradition, or what you do with your, family and friends, and, but if it's financially ruining you, then why continue to? Because I'm telling you now, I don't know who the Joneses are, but I don't think we should be trying to keep up with those folks, because I think they're like aliens. They're like, not real. And a lot of times we trying to keep up with the not real type facades and personas. Like I remember, man, when I was in high school, the trend was everybody wore Tommy Hilfiger, Polo, and stuff like that. So you would go and get a little job and you'll spend your whole check on 2 or 3 outfits, from the mall or from the store or whatever. And now you sitting here like, man, fly, but no money, right? No any of that. I was talking to my wife, and then this is a whole nother. I was talking to my wife the other day, and I asked her, I said, man, when you was a kid, when was the first time you even heard like credit, like a serious credit? She was like, shoot, when I was 18, I was like, for real? I said, man, I didn't hear credit until like I was like doggone almost 30, like upper 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we all went to college, and when you got to college, we got those credit cards in college, but they didn't say nothing about getting credit cards. They was like, fill out this paperwork and get this t-shirt. That's what we were told. Fill out this paperwork and get this t-shirt, right? So we all filled the paperwork out. We all got the t-shirts. We went home on the weekend and there was some credit cards sitting there that came in the mail. You know what I'm saying? And we were all like, oh man, this is cool. And went to the mall and spent our little $200 limits on some J's or whatever cool shoes and outfits. I know I got me a cell phone, a big brick cell phone. It was weird. It was weird. It was weird. But that's what we did. That's what we did. Right? So yeah. When did you first hear credit? When did the first time you heard like the word credit in a serious sense tone, somebody like start talking to you educational wise, or like at least trying to explain it to you, or you at least trying to learn it for real in a sense? When was that time? When did that happen? You know, let me know. Drop it in the comment. Message your boy. Derrick speaks.